Hey gamers, I'm CyberSnake7, hope we're all well guys, back again with another video, and yes, welcome to 2019 guys. This is going to be an interesting year for the snake. In fact, I'm going to put it out there and say, this is the year of the snake. I've set myself some high bar challenges this year, seriously, with the games and the consoles that I want. It's going to be interesting to see how it unfolds. But while I'm in the midst of doing that, of course, I do have other games and other collections that I bought for. So I'm just going to be squeezing in some update videos, which I've been doing over the past couple of months anyway. And today is going to be a system and a few games that I just haven't really been talking about for the past few months. And of course, it's the good old Super Nintendo, the NTSC Super Nintendo collection, which is behind me. I haven't bought a lot. So I've got 7 games that I've picked up over the past few months. I've really slowed down on the NTSC Super Nintendo, to be honest. My head's been in other avenues and other systems and other collections. And as I said in my last video, I've got to put the blinkers on and I've just seriously got to concentrate on certain items, certain systems, certain games that I want. And that's the way it's going to be now. I'm just not going to be picking up here, there and everywhere. I can't be doing that no more. You know what I mean? As I say, I've got hardly any room in this room anymore. And I just want to be more focused. What more can I say? It's as simple as that. So anyway, guys, yes, the good old NTSC Super Nintendo. Good to get a video up for this system again. As I say, I love this system. It's my favourite, all-time favourite system. There's no two ways about that. You're either a Sega or you're a Nintendo fan. And me, Super Nintendo all the way, always have, always will be. So, 7 games, guys. Nothing absolutely earth-shattering, but they are all good games. Happy to add them to the collection, of course. And let's start with game number 1. Now, game number 1, this is a repro. Yes, I'm admitting it's a repro. And I do occasionally bite the bullet and, you know, get repros if they're in good enough and look the part, you know, and they're playable. I can live with it. Now, this is a Famicom exclusive and it's silly money. You're talking 300 plus for this game. But I couldn't justify paying that kind of money for this game, even though I wanted to play it. So this come up on eBay, middle of last year. This is how far it's going back. 45 quid. I was happy to pay it. And it is this one, which is Magical Pop. And as you can see, it's in its own funky pink and yellow Super Nintendo box. Obviously styled around the NTSC variant. But this was, of course, a Super Famicom exclusive. Now, you can see it's a side-scrolling platformer. A little cutesy platformer. And as I say, I was really interested in wanting to play this, but this game is stupidly expensive. And this come from a company called, if you can see that sign, Fishy Face. Now, these specifically do carts and boxes for expensive repro games for the Famicom and for the NTSC Super Nintendo anyway. So I've been on the site. I've never been lucky enough to catch it when it puts a lot of games up there, because they're up there and then they're sold within days. So this was on eBay. It's nothing that I do regularly anyway. I wouldn't want to do that, but I seen this one. I thought, yeah, I'll have that. 45 quid. Pretty decent. And inside you get the old, as per usual, the cart. I think it's an actual original cart, to be honest with you. The label is a really good quality print on it, to be honest with you. So I'm quite happy with that. But I think it's an actual or original NTSC American cart, which I've just put the ROM in. But well, happy with that. It plays. I'm happy with it. And of course, we get a nice full colour manual, which is pretty interesting. And I mean, print and that, and the you know, it is very, very good, not blurred in any way. You know, it tells you and explains the game itself. The only issue I do have probably is on the back of the box with the yellow and the pink writing. That is a bit difficult to read, but at the end of the day, I'm really not too fussed about it, to be honest. But the print and that's really good. The game itself is a really good platforming game. Very happy to have it. And as I say, you know, it's nothing I want to pay hundreds for, but it's something I definitely wanted to play. And, you know, 45 quid, I'm happy to pay that to play the game, and it fits nicely into the Super Nintendo collection. So happy with that. So that's the first game, and if you ever get to play this game, give it a go, because it is really a good little cutesy platformer, worth playing, definitely. But that's Magical Pop. Right, game number 2. Game number 2 is another platformer, and now this is a classic Amiga game ported to the Super Nintendo. Cheapest chips, this one. I think I picked 20 quid I paid for this, but it come complete. And we're talking about the one and only Chuck Rock, yes. And box-wise, really decent condition. You know, a few creases here and there, but shelfware is the key. See, there you go. Shelfware is the key nowadays. You know, I don't really mind the games been played and loved and appreciated in it. If it isn't too bashed or too mould, I'm quite happy with it. So, you know, box condition wise, a good like 7, 8 out of 10. Really happy with that. But this is a quirky little game. I had this years ago. When I very first had it, and I sold it on, and I thought for 20 quid I'll have it back because it fits nice in the collection, and it's an okay game. It's not the best game in the world, but I still like it. But yeah, cartridge, very good condition cartridge, and as you can see, the label is really well looked after and really pristine clean. Pins epically clean because I cleaned them anyway as soon as I get these games. So happy with the cartridge, very happy with that. Now this does come, which is pretty good because it comes with everything, it's complete. So we've got the registration card, of course, and the manual, which is in very good condition. A few thumb marks on this, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. But as I say, you know, pretty standard manual. If you played Chuck Rock, you know what it is. As I say, it's not the best game in the world, but I wanted it in the collection specifically because it's just a bit of nostalgia for me, because I played it when I was a kid. I owned it, and I just wanted it back in the collection. But you got also the poster with this one, which is nice to have, and then a few games on the back which are advertised, which are Smart Ball, Equinox, which needs to come back into the collection, and Hook, which I've got, and Extra Innings Baseball if you're into that sort of thing. But as I say, a quirky little game, and for the price I paid for it, you know, I wasn't complaining. And as I say, it's a pretty decent game, pretty decent condition for the money. So well happy with that. That's game number 2 then, guys, and that is the mighty Chuck Rock. Very happy with that one. Right, game number 3. Game number 3. There is a trilogy of these games. I've managed to pick up the first one. The second one apparently is supposed to be the better of the 3. But as I say, yet again, I found this and it was dirt cheap. It was like 20 quid buying out, and I thought, yeah, I'll have it. I think this is another Amiga port. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it is Top Gear. And as you can see, box is, you know, it's got its marks, fair share of marks on it. It's got a little bit of dink on there. You know, it's not in the greatest of conditions, but for £20, as I say, beggars can't be choosers, and I'm quite happy with it. It's in relatively good condition. And when you got a nice box protector on it anyway, it'll stay in this condition, it won't get any worse. But really happy with that. I've cleaned the box up the best that I can. But yeah, a nice 1 and 2 player simulator game. Now, this reminds me of Lotus Challenge, if you've ever played Lotus Challenge. Exactly the same style of game. But yeah, cartridge, very nice condition. Label is in perfect, pristine condition. And of course the pins. Why I show you the pins I don't know, but I'll just do it anyway. But they are immaculately clean, as per I always do, clean them off. But yet again, this one, precautions leaflet. And then we have, yeah, this is slightly used, you can see. It's not been put back in the box correctly, probably over the time the person's had this game, but never mind. But yeah, again, you know, it's got all the gubbins in there, all the, you know, nice colour manual inside. Just giving you the details and the levels. And this game is pretty good. I really quite enjoy this racing game. I wouldn't mind the others in the series, but I think the others, they are quite expensive, especially number 2. And number 3 is not an easy game to come by, apparently. But yet again, this one comes with the Top Gear poster. So, as I say, for £20, everything's complete in there. And, you know, I'm happy with that yet again. I think the only issue I've probably got with this one is I don't know what they've done. They've probably stuck some tape in there over time for some bizarre reason. And it's marked on the inside of the box. But you know what? That's inside the box and not outside the box. So, but as I say, it's never getting any worse condition because this is in a box protector now. So very happy to have this one. As I say, it's a nice little racer. As you can see, it's a 1 and 2 player game, and it's very reminiscent of Lotus Challenge if you ever played that one. But yeah, really happy with that one, and I will get the other 2 eventually whenever I see them. But yeah, that's game number 3, guys, and that is Top Gear. Game number 4 and game number 5 follow the same sort of vein. Technically, they are from the same genre, put it that way. From a classic cartoon, I think we've all watched at least once in our lifetime. And we're talking about The Simpsons. And these next 2 games I got from the same seller. One I originally had. I bought it when it came out first time round, and I absolutely loved it. And yeah, I got rid of it. One of those games I got rid of, and I just bided my time again. And this game, the first game I'm going to show you the 2, it comes up on eBay every now and again cheap, but the condition's always just not good enough. Smash box, or you know, it's always the box that's knackered. You know what I mean? I can handle shelfware, but I can't handle too much shelfware. So this one I picked up, and this one was 35, and I'm very happy to have it back in the collection. And if anybody can remember this, it's not a bad game. It's not as bad as a lot of people think it is, but I loved it. And it's Simpsons Bart's Nightmares, and this box is in relatively good condition. Yeah, you got a few marks there now and scuffs and that, but you know, it's in a reasonable condition. As I say, this one is very difficult to find in good condition, unless you're specifically looking for brand new, which I tend not to. I just like to go for like well used, loved but played but looked after. But yeah, fantastic game. Really enjoyed this game as a kid. But obviously, yeah, the premise, you know, you're doing your homework, you fall asleep, you lose all your pages of your homework, and you've got to go through all the scenarios to pick up your homework and get the best grade possible. But it's not an easy game. I put it on, and I literally thought, oh my god, I couldn't. It's just either I'm a terrible player, or I just could not remember how to play this game. But I was terrible on it. But still, I absolutely loved it. I remember playing with my cousin years ago, and we really got into this game. I think we did complete it eventually. But still, a fantastic little game. One of the better games in the Simpsons franchise, I think. And definitely worth having in the collection if you haven't got it. So let's open it up and let's see what we got inside. Now, this one, you know, it's standard, bog standard. I have the manual, of course, which is fairly good condition, of course. A few advertisements on the back: Spider-Man, the X-Men, T2, and of course Bart's Nightmares. Weird seeing advertisements on the back of a manual, which is very strange. I've never seen that before. But of course, you know, full colour manual, you know, usual gubbins in there. You know, it's not too bad. It tells you the story of the other worlds and the portals you go through. So yeah, very happy with that. Game cartridge, no baggie this time, just the standard cartridge, but the cartridge is in very good condition, of course. Not a blemish or a mark on the cartridge. Really clean condition cart. But as I said, a number of times I always open the carts, clean them out, and make sure they're pristine anyway. So, plays first time, absolutely epic game. Really happy to have this back in the collection, to be honest with you. As I say, I bought it when it very first came out, a long time ago. And so, I missed having it in the collection. And of course, just bit picking every now and again when I can see a game and I know I want it back. And as I've waited a while for this one, because the condition for people who sell these games, it's really difficult to pick it up a decent condition, but thankfully I found one, and that's the next game in the collection, and that's the Simpsons Bart's Nightmares. Now, the second game off the same seller was a game I've wanted for a while. I've been really interested in this game, but this could give some serious money on the Japanese variants. I mean, 300-400 more. Silly money, really. And he wanted 40 quid for this, and I thought, you know what, snap it up, because you don't really see it that often in this condition, and especially on the NTSC variant. So I picked it up, and it's Virtual Bart, and this is a pretty decent platforming game. It's blooming difficult, I'll tell you that, but you are Bart and you get trapped in a virtual reality machine, and you have about 7 missions. As you can see, you're tied up there, and basically you spin round and you get put into all different scenarios. You get 3D ones, and you get like back in the dinosaur age now, and you just basically got to go through and do all the levels, complete them to then escape the virtual reality world. But as I say, it's different. It's very, very different. Something I've never really come across before. Really good idea, but as I say, blooming difficult to find. Not an easy game to find in this sense. And as I say, on the Japanese variants and the Mega Drive and the Super Nintendo, they are very, very difficult to come by. Now, the only drawback about this one is this is a first for me. This is a first. I do have a tiny tear in the top of the manual, which is a bit of a bummer, and you can see it's well thumbed, unfortunately. But yeah, again, another game in the back, itchy and scratchy game. But you know, it's all intact, it's all readable, and you know, I can read what I got to read and find out what I got to find out in the game. But as I say, you know, the manual has seen better days, unfortunately. But I can't really stress that. I can't really be too bothered. I've got to like bite my lip a bit and say, you know what, you've got the game, you've got the manual, it's in good condition, you know, don't worry about it. But as I say, yeah, cartridge, very, very good clean label on there, of course, and the game itself is in super condition, all stripped down and cleaned as you would do. But yeah, it's an obscure little game, something you don't come across, and you know, it's different for the Super Nintendo and that, and it also comes on the Mega Drive, which is very expensive on the Mega Drive as well, but still definitely worth a pick up if you ever come across this game. Absolutely pop it in the collection, like Bart's Nightmares. Definitely 2 of the better Simpsons games as far as I'm concerned, without doubt. But fantastic to own that. So there is Virtual Bart. Right, last 2 games, guys. Now these are the big hitters of the bunch, to be honest with you. Now I'm still on the quest for, or should I say, to finish off my RPG collection. I think there's only one more I need. But this one, I've been floating around. I haven't like been actively searching for it, but this just literally popped up one day for a damn good price, and I just snapped his hand off. And this obviously is in very, very good condition, of course, and I didn't actually pay that much for this, which is quite surprising. But I managed to pick up and add another RPG to the collection, which I'm really happy about, and that is, of course, The Secret of Mana. And this is in very, very good condition. Very well looked after, this one is, as I'd expect. But absolutely fantastic RPG. Definitely one of the better RPGs. Love this game. Real-time RPG. That's the way I like to play them, rather than the different battle systems that you have in other RPGs. This appeals to me more. Definitely prefer the real-time strategy-based game, RPG game. But super condition. And this, of course, comes complete. So let's have a look inside. Right, so we have, firstly, the precautions leaflet, as you would do. Then we have, obviously, the Nintendo Power advert. And then, to top it off, we have the manual, which is in decent condition. Little mark on the back there, you can tell it's been thumbed and used, but you ain't going to get that with most of these games, because obviously RPGs, you're going to have to read about it. But it's in very, very good condition, of course. I'm happy with it. You know, really, really good condition. Very happy with that. And then, of course, we have, which is most important with RPGs nowadays, or the older RPGs, you need, firstly, the poster, which comes with it, which is a pretty nice poster. But most importantly is this, which all Nintendo games, when you get RPGs, should have the map. If you haven't got the map with the RPG game, then don't bother, you know, because then you'll be actively trying to search for the map for the RPG. So if you get any RPGs, make sure the map's with it. Most important, and of course, the manual and the instructions. But that's all that little lot. And then to top it off, we have, of course, the game. And this is in really, really nice condition with its protector. You don't see many of these nowadays. I'm finding it difficult. You can buy them off eBay, and you probably do, but I like to get my NTSC games with these covers on if I can. If I can't, then never mind. But as you can see, this is absolutely fantastic condition. Very, very clean label, and of course it is in super condition as per usual. But yeah, absolutely fantastic RPG. I think there's one more I need, and I think it's a Legend of Gaia or something like that. And then I'm done. I don't want any more RPGs, because as I say, I'm not an active RPG player at best anyway, because I haven't got the time of day to do anything. But it's still, I said to myself, there's 5 RPGs that I wanted, and I think I just need one more, and that is the Legend of Gaia or something like that. I can't think what it is, but you will see sooner than later. But yes, there you go, guys. Finally got Secret of Mana in the collection. Really, really happy with that. And as I say, one more to go, and then my RPG mini collection is done. So there is Secret of Mana. Right, one more game, guys. Now this one, funny enough, this was going back middle of the year, and good old Mucker Pete's Nestastic. He WhatsApped me and said, have you seen this game? I was tempted to buy it, but it don't look real. It looks fake, because of the fact that it looked too good condition, too new. And I took the punt and I went for it. And he only asked me, funny enough, over Christmas, did you ever get that game? Well, Pete, to answer your question, mate, I did get that game. And it is a very official, a very good and fantastic game also. So let me speak up, man, because my throat's killing me again. I don't know why. Right, so game number 7, last in the collection. Bitman Brothers. Need I say more? Are you going to guess it? Top-down shooter-ish. But yeah, absolutely fantastic game. I've got this on the Mega Drive. And to have it, the American version of this game, which is totally different name. For some reason they named it a different name in America. But absolutely pristine, beautiful condition. Really happy with this, and another game definitely worth getting into your NTSC Super Nintendo collection. And yes, Pete, I do have and own Soldier of Fortune, and this game is in absolutely beautiful condition. This is in 100% condition, absolutely fantastic, not a blemish on this one. Beautiful top-down action game from the Bitman Brothers. Really, really great conversion of the game. And so I love. This is one of my favourite top-down shooters, and this is an epic. It's not the greatest cover in the world. It's different, but I prefer the original. I prefer the original one, to be honest with you. But Soldier of Fortune, still great little name for the game, but absolutely love this game. But this is in absolutely beautiful condition. Let's take a look inside, and we have, of course. We have, of course, the manual, which is in absolutely beautiful condition. Full colour, of course. But nothing major in terms of pictures. It's just the odd pictures and a damn lot of reading. But still very happy to have that. That's in great condition. And then, which is always nice to have, is this, which is the poster, and that is a really, really nice poster. And on the back you've got all the characters and all the bios of the characters in the game, which is a really nice touch. Really, really happy with that. That is a fantastic little poster to have. But yeah, we've got that. And then of course, as I say, sometimes they do come with baggies, sometimes they don't, and this one doesn't. But still, the cartridge is absolutely fantastic. Label on it is beautiful, and this one I didn't even have to open up all clean, because it was pristine when I got it anyway. So well happy to have this one, and another great game to add to the collection. Love Soldier of Fortune. The Chaos engine, of course, on any other version you would think of, but in America they decided to call it Soldier of Fortune. But still, absolutely classic game, beautiful condition. You missed a trick there, Pete. I tell you, mate, that was... I got to thank you for telling me about it, because as soon as I seen it, I thought, yeah, I'm going to have that one added to the collection. So, yeah, Pete, there you go, mate. And that's the final game of my little pickups for the NTSC Super Nintendo. That is Soldier of Fortune. So, guys, another 7 games to the collection. And how it goes for the collection this year for the NTSC Super Nintendo, don't know. I'm not going to hold my hands up and say, yes, I'm going to go and buy another half dozen games, because I just don't know. I've put too much on my plate as it is concerning other projects that I want to do through the year. So it'd be interesting if I pick 1 or 2 up, all the better. If not, then so be it. There's always another year. But anyway, guys, happy to have them in the collection. Hope you've enjoyed this first video back into the Year of the Snake. 2019, guys, is going to be an epic year. Looking forward to this year. And going to be, you know, it's just going to be good. Let's have a fantastic year. Let's enjoy our channels. Let's do what we got to do. It'd be good to see a few people back on YouTube. As I say, I'm going to leave it here, guys, because otherwise I'll just waffle and waffle all the time, on and on, until I don't need to. Nearly 27 minutes in, guys. Hope you've enjoyed the video. And as per usual, guys, I am SoberSnake7. Always keep watching. And always keep playing. All the best, guys.